In here, please.
Damn good coffee and hot.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with the Dog. You make me laugh.
Oh, is that what I'm supposed to do? I don't know how to do this job. I have to be honest. I lied on the application. I've never done this before. There are buttons to push, things to do, people to see, places to go, and I don't know anything. I don't know. I really don't know. I just don't know. I couldn't get in tune with that. See that? I couldn't find the pitch right there. Good morning, folks. It is Tuesday, March 12th, 2024. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day here. If you notice my voice sounding a little nasally, I have just come off a good 40-minute sneezing fit where I just scream the word "achoo" every 3 seconds or so. It looks like spring is here, and that generally means hay fever or whatever fever, pollen nonsense that goes on with my big fat nose. And it's already starting here. Anyway, it looks like Willie is missing today in the back end there. In my back end, I don't feel any Willie in my back end, which is a shame because I want to yell at Willie. I have some yelling at Willie to do. Not in a terrible. Well, it will be fun if and when he shows up, just to yell at him a little bit because, as you know, he's coming to New York this week. And he texted me last night, do I want to get together with Jackie Martling if he's available on Monday? And I'm just like, why do I have to constantly remind you that you said 2024 was going to be your year to make it? You're coming to New York to further your entertainment career, music and comedy, and you want to go waste hours of it, and you're only coming for a week. You want to waste hours of that one good night hanging out with Jackie. How could that possibly do to further your entertainment career? To go watch Jackie lay on his couch, tell the same stories he's told on this program probably a dozen times or more, and smoke homegrown. It doesn't make any sense. Plus, Jackie, I'm already pre yelling at Willie, but that's basically what I'm going to say to him. And plus, Jackie's house. Jackie doesn't leave his house. First of all, I mean, unless he's doing a gig, it's like me, and he lives in a place that is so remote that you can't get to it without, like, I don't know, a helicopter or something. It takes forever, even for me to get there. But from Brooklyn, forget about it. Willie's going to be staying in a hostel. It just makes no sense. And you know what? I feel like I got to keep relighting the fire and saying, you know what? Stay focused. It's nice to talk about. I'm going to make it. This is my year. I'm going to do big things. But you can't listen. I know how you can just want to party all the time because my girl wants to party all the time, party all the time, party all the time. I'm Eddie Murphy with a stuffy nose. or a nasally sounding voice, whatever I am. I understand the want to party all the time, be on vacation, and just play. But if you make a commitment to go to New York to make a mark, to do something big, it's not going to happen at Jackie Marling's house. A 76-year-old man. Listen, he's got a lot of energy for most 76-year-old men. He can probably outrun most 76-year-old men by at least half a second on a 100-yard dash. That's what I'm going to say about Jackie. But it's not the place to make your career. So now that I don't have to yell at Willie, he can just rewind the tape and go back and listen to what I have to say about it. I'm sure he'll take it like a man. Anyway, not a lot going on last night that was noteworthy. I mean, there's nothing stupid to talk about. We did leave the list at number 79 of the greatest movies of all time. We'll probably revisit that. Fortunately, we have a substitute for Willie for the moment. We have a couple of gentlemen in my back end, and no Willie in my back end. I'm feeling a little Willie-less in my back end. We have in the dog pound G.D. Fenderson and Ron Kane. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Good morning. MindDogTV.com.
Oh, you forgot what you were going to say.
I'm going to say the same thing today that I said yesterday because
that was a good one.
Thank you. MindDogTV.com, the only place to go to vote for your favorite Coffee with the Dog guest of 2023. Who was your favorite author, actor, comedian, snake oil salesman, Dave Attell lookalike, conspiracy theorist?
That
it's
wasn't
up
on
to
there
you
yesterday.
Who wins the Mind Dog TV award?
No,
doggy style.
I really want to do that, but here's the thing. People don't remember 2023. People don't remember February. People don't even remember the first week of March. I don't know if anybody can remember who we had on in 2023. That's the one problem with it. The other problem with it is building the web.
I pulled it out my ass and we just made it up.
Building a web voting mechanism it's not like I could just snap my fingers and make that happen. I mean, it's not undoable, but it's work, and you know me, I don't like work. I'm Willie.
I'm just trying to drive traffic. I'm not saying once the traffic gets there, they're going to find a distant destination.
I know, but I'm just saying it's a good idea. I would, if I had the time and energy for it. I'm going to cover us all up.
That's what my mother said about having an abortion. My mother said, that's a good idea. If only I had the time and the wherewithal.
There is some new merch I want to talk about, though, and I should have got GD to model this stuff. It's for just in time for St. Patrick's Day right now. We got mugs, we got T-shirts. It's Irish coffee with the dog, and they're available now in the store. And so that's it. Ron, do you do any merchandising? Do you do merchandising, Mr. Tongue's T-shirts, Mr. Tongue's tongue, Mr. Tongue's tongue depressors?
No, not yet. I probably should get into the edible panty market, but nothing yet. I've thought about it. I'll probably maybe start with I don't know, something, but
you should start with something.
Yeah,
start with the Mr. Tongue's tongue depressor.
Yeah,
tongue suppressor. Start with that, and lace them with acid, so when people lick them, you get like a little hit.
I used to have hemorrhoids, but I got them licked.
Yeah, I'll probably get merch soon. I didn't want to be like jump into that too soon, because I know there are like comics that they're like 6 months into a year and they have like T-shirts and shit like that, and it's like, well, I think your comedy should be at least good enough to warrant a T-shirt, not just because you wanted to say your name on it.
Yeah, well, that's why I have Irish coffee stuff. It's not my face, because nobody would really want to wear my face. It's it's St. Pat. I'm hoping there's enough drunk Irish guys who have extra cash on them. That's what I'm hoping.
There should be plenty. There should be plenty.
Yeah, I'm looking for a email I got yesterday that was just like the weirdest email. I get a lot of weird emails. I can't find this one though. When I do, I will bring it. It was just I get like, and I think I get more crazy emails or stupid emails than than anybody on the planet. I average about 3,000 emails a day because I'm on all these marketing lists for, uh, the latest marketing apps and the things to do to whatever promote your show and all that stuff. God, it's so many of them. 3,000 a day, and I've spent hours just deleting stuff or unsubscribing from mailing lists, and then I find myself back on the mailing list somehow.
Yeah, my favorite are those is when you get those ones from those services that maybe do have merchandise, or they can like add to your Instagram and they send it to you, and they try and make it seem like it's a friend sending it to you. Like, hey, Ron, wouldn't you be interested in this?
Right. Here's a this isn't the weirdest one I got, but this was a somebody who's going to be on the show. It's a interview request. Former young Earth creationist, YEC, indoctrinated into religious fundamentalism at age 6, struggled with the conflicts between YEC science denial and my love of science for decades. Eventually left the church in favor of science for reason. This guy's going to be on the show. He's an author. That should be an interesting one. I mean, uh, the people that there is a crazy uh, religious fundamentalist movement in this country where people are challenging themselves to be bit by poisonous snakes and all that kind of stuff. So that could be an
Katie
interesting one.
Britt.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's
Well,
go ahead.
I actually, having been a minister for a little bit and having had to research those kinds of things, like we went to Maine, and they had a charismatic church there, but they didn't. Maine doesn't have any poisonous snakes.
It doesn't.
So
Not
no,
one. Not one.
not if it is, it's somebody released it into the wild because it like bit their pet possum or something.
Too
But
cold
other
for
than
snakes? Is that the deal?
I don't know if it's too cold for snakes or they just don't like lobster, or maybe it's the political environment. I don't know. I didn't research that part. That's not why I went to Maine. We went to Maine to see what charismatic churches do up there in lieu of the poisonous snakes. Turns out what they have a lot of in Maine are skunks. So you reach your hand in and you pull the skunk up by the tail, as opposed to being bitten by a snake.
Why?
Does the skunk spray you or not? And that's how you test your faith. And then how many people stay in the church with you after the skunk has sprayed you? That's how they test their faith in the charismatic church in Maine.
Wow.
Most of you probably didn't even know that part.
I didn't even know they had charismatic churches in Maine. So everything is new to me there. I can't find this ridiculous email. Good morning, Willie. Let's say good morning, Willie.
Good morning.
Morning, Willie. I'm sorry, I didn't even say good morning to Ron yet. Forget you, Willie. Hold on. I'm sorry, Ron. I am so used to seeing you. It's like walking past your spouse in the morning and you like don't even say good morning. You're just like waiting for the toilet. I'm sorry, Ron.
Bro, you know what? I've made that mistake before of
You walked past Ron's toilet?
No. I've walked past my wife in the morning first thing after she woke up, because generally I get up before my wife, generally. So I'll be up doing my thing 2-3 hours, whatever. And if she happens to get up in a moment where I'm busy or whatever, I'll see her and I won't say good morning or whatever. I'll be wrapped up in what I'm doing or whatever. That woman will stop and stare at me until I tell her good morning. Like her day's not starting until I've acknowledged that we're at a new one now.
Well, our first guest was here and left already. I don't know if he's coming back. I don't know. Maybe.
I'm sure he will. He's very excited.
You know him. That's right. He's from South Carolina, South Dakota, South Central. He's from South Central.
Yeah, he's from South Central. He's going to show up. He's going to be very South Central-ish.
I don't know. Bubba Starts does not seem like a guy who would come from South Central. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, Willie, did you listen to the little monologue I had there? I was yelling at you.
No, I missed it. I'm sorry. What happened?
Well, I was yelling at you about. He's back now. We'll play a commercial and meet him in a minute. I was yelling at you about the text you sent me last night. It's like, and I get it. And I was saying, I understand. Listen, I'm a child at heart too. I want to play all the time. I want to have fun. But you're coming here to New York City to accomplish things, not to hang out with a 76-year-old man and watch him smoke homegrown on his couch while he tells the same stories he's told on this show without wasting your time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And plus, you don't know where Jackie lives. He lives in a place where you can't get there from here.
Yeah.
Wherever you are, you can't get to Jackie's house from there. So it just like, what the hell are you thinking? Why do I have to constantly light a fire under your ass and remind you that you said 2024 was going to be your year, and then you want to waste 5 hours of your time in New York City at Jackie Martling's house listening to what you've already heard?
I mean, you bring up a valid point, but see, that's why I keep you around, so you keep me on track, you keep me on point.
That's why you keep him around.
That's why he keeps me around. Well, it's good to know I'm useful for something and not ready for the nursing home quite yet.
Yeah.
Let's I'll play a quick commercial and then we'll get to Bubba starts and ends music. You know what? With a name like Bubba Starts, I was expecting him to come on with a red hat. I don't know. That's now
or a 6-shooter.
Yeah, we are. By the way, is Lord and Lady on tonight? Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna have Lord and Lady on tonight, and tonight Danica and I are gonna go. We're gonna be in the same house, but we're gonna go separately so that she kind of gets a feel for what that's gonna be like. Because next week our show, I'll be on the.
Are you going to sing separate ways? Oh, you should sing separate ways as a duet, like a karaoke duet on the show.
No, I think that's called swinging.
I'm sure the lag will be a problem. Swaying. My dad was a swayer. Like when he talked on the phone, he would stand there and just sway back and forth as he talked on the telephone.
Well, Ron said swinging.
Yeah, swinging.
Oh,
Charlotte's on the front porch. And she was swinging.
I think my dad was a swinger too. My mom just didn't know.
Swanging. The reason I brought up Lord and Lady is because they're working on a new sponsor for them. It probably won't be on by tonight, but that's what
I didn't get any new info from Luminar Neo. By the way, they should have had a package come out.
So disappointed. So well, I'll play that commercial, and then we'll get to meet Bubba Starts. You already know him, so let's just play a Neo Luminar commercial. And
Roy, flashlight.
On the way. I'm okay.
I'll fix it. With a precise depth map, I can relight my photo naturally in 3D space. Luminar lets me bring my boldest ideas to life. And enjoy them. Luminar Neo, create more.
Yeah, crave more. It sounds like he should be a director of a horror film. Luminar, crave more. It's time to meet our first guest. Bubba Starts has performed thousands of shows over the last 20 years. We're going to need to fact check this and see if that's actually possible. Thousands over 20 years. It's a difficult thing. I mean, if you add up the days and all that, but it's not impossible. But it's probably a real stretch. Thousands of shows over 20 years of playing music professionally. He plays something from every genre and every era of music. He's here now. He's from the great rocky state of South Carolina, South Dakota, South Central something. Good morning, Bubba.
South Dakota. Thanks,
South
dog.
Dakota.
I got a hat on it. It's not
red. Anyway, thanks for being here. I'm trying to do the math now, what it would really take to do thousands of shows over 20 years. I mean, it depends on how many thousands. So there's 365 days a year. Obviously, if you did a show every day of the year, in 3 years, you could have 1,000 shows. But generally, people only work on weekends. That's 2 shows times 52 weeks. It's 104 a year. Would be difficult to get to thousands.
Well, it depends what you qualify as a show, dog. I mean, for years, I bust down the streets of Venice Beach or anywhere that I happen to be to feed myself. So if I was making money out there, I consider it a show. And I did that every day for about 3 years just to feed myself. So I guess it's really in the metrics when you get down to it.
Good point. You make a fair point. You can consider anything a show, even busking and stuff like that. Do you busk often?
Not so much anymore, but in my 20s, when it was easy to throw a guitar and a backpack on and go wherever I pleased, that was definitely what I did. I think I read On the Road by Kerouac at 18, 19 years old, and I was like, oh, I can do that. I think I'd rather do that and leave South Dakota behind, and that kind of led me to the West Coast and a lot of stories and a lot of the what ends up being the inspiration, right, for all of these songs that I have that now I'm working on recording and releasing, and working with guys like Will on building a scene out here in South Dakota and flyover country for you New York guys and the Middle America. We don't
I have to say, I don't think I've ever
built
flown over South Dakota. I don't think I've ever flown over South Dakota. It's not in the way of anything I would fly to.
Right. Yeah, guys, if you're just going from New York to LA or New York to Atlanta or anything, you'll miss South Dakota completely. So
even I think when I go to Seattle, I don't even think it's a flyover if I head to Seattle, right? I'd have to go to like Alaska for it to be a.
I actually tried to fly to South Dakota, and the pilot flew over it. So.
Are you trying to take the flyover status away from South Dakota?
I'm just trying to figure out. I'm just trying to figure out where I'd have to go to fly over South Dakota. Winnipeg.
I would say that Seattle is still farther north in latitude than we are, but it's on the coast, so it's a lot different, right? People want to go there. Right. We are famous for having more cattle than people in the state of South Dakota, and by
New Mexico too. Yeah, New Mexico too. So
yeah,
Will
so we're rural,
and Wyoming.
Will must be a real cow lover because every place he goes has more cows than people.
I do like a good cow, a good heifer.
Well, and Will likes to travel between those places too, right? So me and Will are actually working together on some shows this year, and he's helping to bring some comedy out to South Dakota and coming out to host some shows for us. So really trying to connect from coast to coast, and why I appreciate a guy like you having me on, a little small town kid on a big, you guys got Times Square on lockdown from what I see.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
I'm sorry, but what do you want to be called? Bubba, Mr. Starts, Mr.
Bubba,
Ends?
please. Mr. Starts sounds much too formal for me.
Okay, Bubba, right here it says that you have a knack for identifying a demographic and identifying what songs will excite the crowd or something. I can't read the exact things because I'm thinking of my question here and I can't read it at the same time.
So I
got that. You put it in print.
There's a racial element coming.
Yeah, what I want to know is
I could smell it.
Playing the Apollo Theater. What songs do you play?
See, I knew it.
Well, I am going to play
Brick House
music, right?
No, can you play it? First of all, what are you playing it on? An acoustic guitar or an electric guitar or bass? Organ,
for a show like that, some funk in the Apollo. So I'm gonna need my electric guitar. I'm gonna need a horn section, right? We're gonna need to bring some urban flavor, right? And for me, as far as I can go in that,
is that part of your regular show?
I mean, for me.
Yeah,
personally, yeah. Right. So for me personally, no. But what I like to do is to collab with other musicians, right? So I would collaborate with people, especially local in the area, to bring that, right, a local horn section, a local opener, and then I would try to collab with those people to do that. I'm not going to go completely outside of myself. Just because I'm performing at the Apollo, but I'm going to try and bring something that is of the flavor that you would be in that set and setting, right? So I guess that's why I million more by my ability to collaborate than by being able to change the color of my stripes, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, it does. Now, so do you have a set band that you play with when you're playing local gigs or not?
So that's more difficult too, right? Because we have such a small scene. A lot of the best players play in multiple bands, right? So I kind of play with several guys. It's a large, maybe 10 to 12, group of, 10 to 12 musicians. And that kind of varies between where I'm at. Also, I play gigs, in the eastern side of South Dakota. Well, the gigs that I have on the western side of South Dakota are 400 miles away.
Right.
So while I'm still playing in my local state, it's a large swath that we have to cover. So I'll hire musicians that I have a relationship with out there to play those shows with me. Everybody learns the music as professionals, right? So the quality of the show is never diminished, but it kind of makes each show a little bit different too, right? You're not getting a homogenized product night in and night out, at least for the time being now. That may change when I start touring nationwide. Obviously, to do that at scale is nearly impossible. But for the time being and where I'm at in my career and where I'm at, in the location that I'm at, that's kind of where I have to find myself, is playing with a multitude of professional musicians.
I get it, man. Believe me. That's why I keep my band very small for that reason, because, just finding, listen, in this scene, even here, everybody is, hired guns and in different bands and all that stuff. But it does change. I have to, Friday night, we're playing with a drummer who is, small female ballerina who's not a hard hitter. We used to a guy who was the hardest hitter on the planet. So the entire personality of the band will change. So that's the one instrument that can definitely change the personality of the band. Is you have a sub drummer. I don't care what it is. If they're different from your regular drummer, I don't care how much they listen to the music and learn it. They're still going to play it with a different feel or a different energy than the what you're used to. It can change the personality of the band, but
undoubtedly, and there's different schools of thought there too, right? I mean, for people performing in Nashville or going out on the road and playing that, I mean, to have a consistent show night in and night out is important, right? You want to be able to rely on the people that you're playing with. I understand that. I'm playing maybe once or twice a month with the band right now. I'm also producing a lot of shows on the side and doing a lot of other things. So it's harder. I guess it's less necessary to have that tightness because it's going to be so long in between the shows anyway. And
right.
Playing in different markets. I'm not playing a weekly in the same place, everything. Like I said, that's just right now. It happens to be where I'm at in my career and in the time and place of that right now.
Right. Now, on your website, there's a single, Rise Up. It looks like that's on Spotify. Is that how you, might not be, but it looks like that. Is that how you distribute your original music, through Spotify?
Yeah, and it's on all other streaming platforms too. Spotify just kind of the one that gives the metrics that people are watching. Streaming's not really doing a lot for me. Our 17 monthly listeners on Spotify is pretty meager, but we are all about direct-to-fan marketing and using social media to connect with our fans and to build community through social media and to continue to grow that. I mean, we're very fortunate to have a really great local scene to work inside of. Hey, how you doing? On a podcast right now too, but how much longer are you going to be? I don't know. As long as you need 15 minutes or so, you want to get set up?
Yeah, I just wanted to get a mic check real quick and stuff.
Awesome.
Guitar here in a minute.
Cool. Sounds good. Sorry, guys.
Are we in a business? Are we in a business meeting now?
No, so I'm actually in the green room of my local TV station. I'm going on the news here in the next 15 minutes, so I kind of pulled double duty today. I apologize, dog.
No, that's fine. You know what? You got to do what you got to do.
Dakota News.
Yeah. So the next single, Triple Fine, is what I'm out promoting right now, and really poppy tune. getting it out there has been huge. We got a little bit of radio play on one of our local radio stations in South Dakota here last Friday, kind of ahead of the release. Today I'm going to go perform for the local news. So yeah, just kind of doing our thing, but it's such, small scale. We're talking, a few thousand people maybe tuning in this morning. So it's not the morning news or, ABC or, Good Morning America, right? But it's something small. We're building on it. I'm really proud to be a part of the scene and to be a big part of the scene and working with guys like Will, who don't live here, right? But come through and have a passion for bringing talent to South Dakota. That's the biggest thing to me. The time I was on the West Coast, I met a ton of independent artists. I really fell in love with being an independent artist and watching people do that. And a record deal was never a dream to me really at all. I've always strived to be independent, and now I'm doing it, right? I'm in the studio, I'm on a podcast with you at the same time, and doing it all at once. So I really appreciate your
the hustle.
time. And I
like the fact that you're doing two things at once here, and this is the way to go. If you're serious about it, tell Will this. You gotta light your own fire. You gotta get out there and hustle and do as much as you
can. I had to take a day off of work unpaid to do this, right? So if I'm leaving the factory to come out and do this, I better make it worth my while. I emailed every radio station in town. No, again, you get a response from anybody. I'm gonna go knock on all their doors right now, dog. I don't care. Yeah. I'm here.
Good for you.
You're gonna hear me. I'm gonna knock kick the doors in if we have to.
You're going to perform today on the new show? You're going to perform like an acoustic version of one of your songs?
Yep, going to do the acoustic version of the new single. And yeah, you guys, I sent the pre-save link in there. There's a live version as well. If your viewers want to check that stuff out, you guys can share. And yeah, I got an advanced copy. I'll send you in the chat too, dog.
Okay. Listen, I have produced a local news show before, and I struggled with having audio engineers. Have you done a sound check this morning? And
that's what he was just knocking on the door about.
Yeah, because the most frustrating thing for me was we'd have original artists in and doing music live, and they are not necessarily audio engineers who are music engineers. They're news engineers, and they're working typically with talking heads, not with music. And you find a lot of musicians getting frustrated by that. So I was just curious, how are you prepared for that?
Yeah, well, and I project too, so they're gonna have to turn everything down from speaking volume and to have something good here. So I won't keep them waiting, dog. I appreciate your time, you guys. I love the show. Will, I can't wait to meet you in person, brother. I appreciate the link that we've made and being on with you guys is a joy. I can't wait to share this with all of our fans and introduce all of our people to your show and keep on growing.
Is the new thing going to be live today? Because if we can, we'll tap into it. Is there an internet feed?
Will should be able to find that on my Facebook page, the band's page. I know he follows us.
It's on Dakota
we'll be on live. I think 9:06. So 10:06 your time, it'll be
all right.
On, so
we'll let you go do a good sound check and get your sound as good as it can be. And thanks for being on this morning. Bubba starts.
Well, yeah.
startsandends.com. No Bubba in there.
Play some funk in the Apollo Theater one day. Let's make that happen.
Yeah, play with GD's band. Anyways,
I love the sound of it, man. Let's make it happen, guys. Have a great morning.
All right. Have a great show on Dakota, whatever it is, Morning Dakota.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Dakota News.
I could get into the Apollo Theater without buying tickets.
Let me find this Facebook page and see if we can tap into it. We'll probably get some kind of slam on YouTube for doing it, but I don't care. I'm a rebel. I can't find. I have his Facebook page here. Anyway, good to see him hustling, like doing two things, having a morning like this where he's on this show and then doing a live news show. That's what you got to do, folks. I mean, part of the game you have to play is do as much as you can make as much of your time as you possibly can. Let's go back to the list while I'm doing this. Yesterday, we left off at number 79 of the greatest films of all time. If you guys want to comment on these at all, number 79. What?
Deep Throat is not number 69.
We didn't get to 69. We're up to 79.
Oh,
I don't
I
know. I have not taken an advanced look at the list. I'm going one by one. So Deep Throat might be on there. I don't think so, but you never know. I don't think any. I don't think they had triple X at the time. It was only R or X. Now it's triple X. So, but I don't think any porno movies
I
are going to
thought
be on.
Deep Throat was rated G for, but I could be wrong.
I gotta get that penalty box in set up pretty quick.
If someone seen Deep Throat today, they would be embarrassed because the ladies now can do Deep Throat all the way to their feet.
To their teeth?
No, feet.
Yeah.
You know, I won a Deep Throat contest one time that I wasn't even participating in.
I know.
No, that's called getting by. That's what that's called.
Is that what? Making rent is what that's called.
Number 79, E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Terrestrial.
What are these? 100 movies of what?
100 greatest movies of all time, according to the broken list that I pulled up. Whatever. 79, E.T. You think that one belongs on there?
Not that high.
I mean, it belongs on the top 100, I think. But I think these are low. Again, I want to know what these higher ones are that these are so low.
E.T. is rated higher than Brokeback Mountain. I think Brokeback Mountain had like more social commentary than E.T. I mean, they're both trying to make a statement. But
if I'm honest, I've never seen either one of them. I know more about. Well, no, I know both of them. Basically, the story of both of them. But I don't know. I know lines from them. But I've never seen either movie, and I never will. So how about that? Number 78, In the Mood for Love, which I don't even know. Looks like a Chinese movie or something. Maggie Cheung. Hong Kong movie. It's a Hong Kong made movie. That's weird. Number 77, Star Wars: Return of the Jedi.
Really, that low?
I've never seen that one either. Are you ready to kill me?
Get out of here! You haven't seen Star Wars: Return?
I saw the first Star Wars, and that was it. I was like, Star Wars. I seen the first one, and that was it. I was like, I've had enough of this kiddie crap. I might as well watch cartoons. I'll go home and watch Bugs Bunny. That's what I said when I left Star Wars. Number 76, Arrival. Do you know that one?
That's a Jodie Foster
Arrival.
one,
Arrival. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that one.
Number 75, A Quiet Place. I don't know that one. Emily Blunt. She said she says she can't watch her own movies, and I agree with her. I can't watch her own movies. Number 74, Train Spotting.
Never saw that one.
Me neither. I haven't seen any of these movies. This is what I try to tell people every day. I don't know any fucking pop culture stuff.
Well, if you like movies about heroin, Train Spotting is the movie for you.
Oh, really? That's right. Yes, I did see that one. I remember the heroin now.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty graphic, but it's pretty damn good.
I thought it was about trains, but I was thinking about trains. But you're right, heroin. Yeah.
The thing that I remember about that movie is that I was in prison the first time I saw it, and they had just changed like the channels that we got on our prison channels, and we got this movie channel that showed like unedited movies, like there were no commercials or edits or whatever. And that Train Spotting had some nudity. So the whole prison was watching Train Spotting because there was going to be a tit.
This next half hour is brought to you by the Prison Channel, by the way. Prison Channel, subscribe now.
No, I'm just curious. Will, is there a certain kind of camaraderie that is established knowing that you're all masturbating to the same tit?
Bro, you know what?
Do you talk about it later? Do y'all talk about it later? Like, did you see that tit? And
Yeah, no, it's weird water cooler conversation. I'll tell you that. You know what I mean? It's a weird thing.
Y'all
Like
have
because
water coolers in
there's a
prison?
buzz. Like when guys would know that there's going to be like a nude theme, coming up or whatever. Like the whole place would be like, "Hey, you gonna watch that movie tonight?" You know what I mean? And then at like 8 o'clock or whatever, you can't. Like usually prison, there's like some background noise or whatever. Like the whole fucking place is just dead quiet because everybody's got their dicks in their hands.
The first comedian I had on was I can't remember his last name now. This guy Max. He was 18 years old, and he was a freshman in a dorm in some university. And he talked about the night that they turned off the porn in the dorms, and you could hear an audible scream from a mile away, like you just think about a bunch of 18-year-olds in their dorm room for first week of school, and like they got their laptop open, beating off, and all of a sudden it goes off, and then all you can hear is "Oh, not now!" from a mile away.
I'm collective cry out.
Right, and a bunch of guys run out into the hall with their pants around their ankles, like, "What happened? What happened to the porn?"
So when cellmates are masturbating, is there like a no eye contact rule?
Well, you're in bunk beds. You're usually in your own bed. You can't see them. They're up in their bed. You're down in your bed.
But if you're on the bottom, then you're definitely in their motion and stuff, right?
Yeah, and
I
have
think
a raincoat on the bottom.
I think we should just cut out the middleman here and get GD arrested for some crime and put in prison and let him find out for himself.
No, I have been. No. What makes you think I haven't been arrested? What makes you think I haven't been arrested? I have been nabbed by the police so many fucking times.
Well, we need to get you convicted then. All right.
Oh, well, that's different.
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm too.
Let's
smart.
continue with the list. I gotta really put a mute muzzle on him. 73 Mulholland Drive. No,
that's a
I love
weird
driving
one.
on Mulholland.
Is that a chick movie?
That's a David Lynch movie.
Yeah, David Lynch, right? Oh, it's Naomi Watts.
Yeah, there's a great scene between Naomi Watts and I forget who else, but there's a great scene between her and the other lady.
The other lady, a brunette who looks kind of hot. What do you mean? There's a lesbian scene?
Yes.
I like that. Funny, I'm all for lesbians. I can't watch Brokeback Mountain, but I could watch two women all day long.
That is an interesting thing that I often find. So you get a little homophobic about gay sex, but not lesbian sex. Lesbian sex, that's just fine.
I don't know. I don't know homophobic. It's just I just don't like watching it. I just think it's not like I'm afraid of it because phobia.
Okay, yeah. I can see that.
And I'm not hateful of it. It's just like I don't want to watch it. Change the channel. I can't. I don't want to watch this.
What comedian is it that has the watching them kiss joke? Have you been watching them kiss the whole time? Like you've been watching them kiss the whole time? God, I wish I could remember. There's a comedian that had the joke about how they got invited to a gay wedding, and he was like, "Oh, I don't want to go to a gay wedding. Like, I gotta watch them kiss." And he's like, and his friend was like, you could just close your eyes, right? Like you don't have to watch them kiss.
Oh no, I had to. I was contracted to do a video for a gay wedding before gay weddings were illegal in New York. But it was the kind of a famous hairdresser thing, and these guys, they started out as enemies. They hated each other, but eventually they fell in love. It was a beautiful love story documentary I had to put together between two guys. And editing it, my wife was a little concerned that I might be sliding away because I was making it very, I don't know, like I'm doing like a cinematic take on this wedding thing.
Was it weird when you had to bring in the intimacy coordinator for your scenes?
Yes.
Who happened to turn out to be his mother, by the way.
And then I had to go interview them at their salon in New York City, and it was like I was like catnip walked in because all the gay guys just spotted. You know what? I think part of the attraction with gay guys to me is that my head looks like a phallic symbol. I look like a cock. I look like a big hard cock when I walk through the door, and they say, "Oh, look at that head! I could ride that head."
Or they think you're an ass, and they think they can ride that ass too.
That could be too. Number 72, Rear Window. That's a
Speaking of ride that ass.
That's for people that like to look behind them.
That's a great fucking movie though. That's a Hitchcock movie.
Right, Hitchcock.
Yep, Jimmy Stewart and Grace Kelly are in that. That's a great movie.
You know, Grace Kelly kidnapped me one time. Seriously, that's a true story.
Yes,
now this is the original Rear Window, right? Not one of the remakes.
Right. I didn't know I know they remake everything, but I didn't know that they remade that one yet. 71 Up, which is I don't know, like a cartoon movie, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's that cartoon movie. Yeah. Up.
Yep.
And stopping right for the time being at number 70, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Now that's is that like a follow-up to the original Spider-Man or something, Into the Spider-Verse?
Yeah,
but
that's
a
actually
cartoon version,
like one
right?
of the newer ones.
Yeah, that's the animated one.
Yeah.
Which is that's not bad either. Those are not bad. They look beautiful. Those movies, like the Spider.
Is that the first
Spider-Man.
animated movie on the list?
I don't think so.
No, did we just do 71 Up?
I don't know.
I thought wasn't 71 Up animated?
Yeah.
Okay, so we already did that, and also Fritz the Cat. That was like number 99, right?
I don't think anybody knows what Fritz the Cat was. Willie, do you know Fritz the Cat?
No, not a clue.
That was like one of the best animated movies.
It was an X-rated.
That was the first animated movie to get a Grammy or an Oscar.
No, it never got anything.
No, that movie is not that great. I've seen that movie. It is not that great.
It got an Oscar. It got an.
It did not get an Oscar. Fritz the Cat was an animated X-rated movie that came out in like 1972 or something. And Ron's right, it wasn't great, but it made a splash at the time because it was very bold. Nobody was doing X-rated anything. I mean, X
won
was
best
kind
soundtrack.
of a new. Never did. Come on, you gotta stop lying. You can't just lie.
Have you ever watched the Robert Crumb documentary?
No.
Look that up. It's just
I
called
saw Who's Harry Crumb. I've seen that.
That documentary is probably like 15 years old now, but definitely check it out. It's very fascinating, and seeing Robert Crumb's like weird life and like how he came up with that shit and how he hated the movie. It's very fascinating.
Let me take the Bubba Stars thing. Stars and Ends. You can find out about Bubba's music.
Yeah, he's going to be on Dakota News Now. Do you want me to send you a link to their thing?
It's too late. I can't tap into that. Starts and Ends. Both words end with Z, trying to be cute and limit his audience because most people will put an S in there and get a page not found. Starts and Ends.
No, don't find the other starts and ends and go, oh, gospel.
Oh, is that what it is?
I have no idea. I'm just thinking,
this is the problem when you lie as often as you do. You're just a dirty fucking rotten liar, and then nobody can take anything you say seriously. You're like the little boy who cried wolf. Yeah.
Jesus
Christ.
Okay. It starts and ends with an S is more like Alpha and Omega. That's made me think Christian.
I would think it sounds like a 1990s girl hip hop group, like I don't know,
like Split Ends.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't know. Whatever. There was. I can't think of them now. Snoop Doggy Dogg did a song with them, right? I'm lost. I'm an old man. I have a page. I don't even remember what show this is. What show is this I'm on?
It's called Coffee with Will C.
Yeah, it's on the bottom of the screen there. If you're Coffee with the Dog, that's where you are.
And I tried to take starts and ends out, and I didn't even do it. See that? I'm just terrible at this stuff. I don't know how to do this show. I don't. Yeah, so my movie lists are probably so far it's not as bad as the music list that I've been pulling up. The completely broken. I have not skipped ahead. I have a feeling the movies are going to get much better or much more well known as we progress on.
God, I hope so.
Just reflecting on yesterday a little bit, Jeffrey Weissman, pretty cool interview. Rewatched it last night. Very good advice for people who are in the film industry. And you know what? It's surprising to me how you can just fall out of favor, because he was pretty hot. Hot. I don't mean hot in the sense that I want to suck his dick. I mean hot in the sense of Hollywood wanting to cast him between, let's say, 1985 and 1990. He was getting a lot of work, and then all of a sudden they just go cold on you. And I didn't want to, it could be a little uncomfortable to ask him about that. Like, now he's got to struggle to find parts and do all these different things. And I don't know why that is. It's just like he's not like the lead guy, so they're not selling the movie based on him, right? What? Well, what?
Well, I was gonna say he also, after doing a few movies, maybe he got into doing something else. Maybe he started focusing more on a different, career direction or whatever. It could be a mixture of the two too.
But that Crispin Glover guy, I think he just killed his career. Because he was.
But he didn't really, because he's had plenty resurgence since then. I mean, he was in the Charlie's Angels movies. He played a villain in the Charlie's Angels. He had that. I don't know if Willard came out before or after. I think Willard was after the Back to the Future.
Yeah,
they remade Willard, the Rat movie.
Yeah,
and he's in that.
I don't know. See, when there are remakes of movies that suck the first time around, that blows my mind. Like, why would you remake?
I thought Willard. I thought he did great in that Willard movie. That fucking movie freaked me out, man.
So the remake was better. Did you ever see the original?
I don't think I've seen the original. No, I've only seen the remake.
The original sucked. The original sucked.
What are you talking about? That got Ernest Borgnine an Oscar.
Oh, is Ernest Borgnine in the original? I love him.
Yeah,
I used to love watching.
Finally, a reason to see it.
Like that's the kind of thing that'll get me to go watch it. It is, because I do like Ernest Borgnine.
It got an Oscar. Ernest Borgnine got because he played the lead rat. He played the lead rat in that movie.
You know what is that? Yeah. Are you lying again?
Yeah, of course he's lying. He's fucking just always lying. You can't believe a fucking word he says.
God.
If you remember the movie, Robin Williams movie, Good Morning Vietnam, there is a running joke about Ernest Borgnine, about him getting nude pictures of Ernest Borgnine for this restaurant owner.
I think that's based on reality, to be honest with you. Ernest Borgnine had kind of a crazy reputation as being a wild sex maniac.
I can see that.
Really? I did not know that.
McHale's Navy, yeah. There was a time he was on Fox News, and when he was like 92 or something, they asked him what his secret to long life was, and he thought he was whispering off mic, but he said it so loudly it just went out loud. He said, "I jerk off a lot."
Well, he wasn't wrong, was he?
At 92,
taking those stress years off.
Wow. And he was mad, Tova, his wife, was like 40 years younger than him, or 35 years younger than him. So, all right, number 69. Are we ready for a 69? Who's ready for a 69?
Woo!
All right.
Inglourious Bastards.
Fuck yeah.
You think it should be higher? Higher up on the list?
I'm glad it's number 69. That's great. The only way it could have been better is if it would have been like Boogie Nights.
68, Lady Bird.
Lady Bird. What the fuck is that? I've never even heard of that. Is that about?
I heard of it. I heard of it. I've seen parts of it.
It's
is that
it's
about Lyndon Johnson's wife?
No, that's what I assumed to start off with. But I'm surprised you know that. Good for you, Will. You know your presidential history there. It's about experiencing fractured friendships, first fuckboys, and fateful fumbles. in the final year of high school. That's a tongue twister. Number
Faithful
67.
Bumble.
Number 67, Singing in the Rain. Now they haven't made a remake of that, right? This is
They must have.
well, the original with Gene Kelly is on it.
All right, that was a fun movie. I still enjoy it. I don't know if I call it like one of the greatest movies, but it's probably it was good. It was fun.
I can't say I watched the whole movie.
I'm a huge musical lover. I love musicals and musical theater. So.
No wonder.
Yeah. Where do you stand on Rent then? That's what I want to know.
Yeah,
I like real musicals. I don't like them. I think Rent was a piece of shit, trash.
You know what, dude? You know what, man? Hang on a second. Can I hang on?
No, you can't. The answer is no, you can't.
No, I can. Again, unacceptable.
That's fine. We have to get the penalty box
mixed up with the black guy. People gonna
get we got to get that penalty box made. That's gonna be fabulous.
Yeah, with a little counter. If I can get the animated counter, like Jack counting down the penalty minutes.
Yeah, 2 minutes in the box.
Yeah. Number 66.
As long as I don't have to wear the hood.
Number 66. One flew over the cuckoo's nest is number 66.
That's a good movie.
That is a good movie.
I top 50.
I watched that for the first time in the Cuckoo's Nest. It was on.
That's a great place to watch it. That is the best place to watch that movie.
Yeah, Strong Memorial Mental Psychiatric Hospital in Rochester, New York. It's a whole other story. Number 65, Seven Samurai.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
what the original Magnificent Seven was based on.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
If you count Bug's Life, a remake of the Magnificent Seven. Oh no, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. Never mind. Number 64, La La Land. I didn't see that. That's with that Ryan, good-looking guy, and
yeah,
and the hot chick with the what's her name?
Won a bunch of Academy Awards, didn't it?
Did it?
I didn't see it, so
you're supposed to. You said you like musicals. Shouldn't that be right on your list?
I love musicals, but not everything with music in it is a musical. Some things with music in it is just bad movies with music in it.
Was that girl Emma Stone? Is that who she is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, can she really sing? I guess so. She's in a musical.
But sometimes they overdub the voices. I mean,
I've seen her do a lip sync thing with Jimmy Fallon that was really good, but that's why I was questioning whether she can really sing. Number 63, Get Out. Do you know this movie?
Yeah.
You do?
My First Marriage.
Yeah, it's a thriller. Yep.
Does it belong on the list? 63.
I don't think it's top 100 worthy, really.
No.
Number 62, Lawrence of Arabia.
Black people a bone on that one.
Lawrence of Arabia, 62. Classic. Omar Sharif, isn't that? Is that who that?
That was a musical.
Yeah.
Peter O'Toole, and I think it's Omar Sharif.
Yeah. Omar Sharif.
Number 61, Pan's Labyrinth. Didn't see it. Looks like a devil movie. Or
Is that the one with David Bowie?
No, that was just Labyrinth. David Bowie was just Labyrinth. That had a young Jennifer Connelly.
No, Pan's Labyrinth is De Toro's movie.
Yeah, Del Toro.
Yeah.
Fairy tale of grown-ups. Fairy tale for grown-ups. Pull no punches, brutal as gorgeously baroque-esquely fantastical. Who's writing that crap?
Fantastical.
Fantastic.
Same people who wrote this list.
Right.
That's how I describe my remaining testicle.
Number 60, Hot Fuzz. Hot Fuzz. Looks like Joe Biden and John Candy or something. Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg.
Yeah, not a bad movie. top 100. I don't think so, but it's not bad. It's good. It's action comedy.
All right, we're moving on. We're gonna get through this list before the next guest gets here. How about that? 59, Moonlight. I'm not sure.
Moonlight?
I don't even
Oh,
know.
is that the one
Again,
with Cher?
Adapted from, no, that's
that's Moonstruck.
Oh yeah,
Moonstruck.
yeah.
Moonlight, I think, is about the young. Again, I think they're throwing black people another bone. I think there's better black movies than that. But go ahead. I think that if that's what I'm thinking, unless
Don't
Moonlight
worry,
is the
Soul
Marvel.
Plane is on there. Calm down.
You're thinking of the Dark Tornado. No, that was the greatest black movie. Of all time. Tornado, yeah. Well, 59 is Moonlight, which is adapted from Terrell Alvin's play in Moonlight. Black Boys Look Blue. Black Boys Look Blue. Okay. 58 is Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know that one either. See how unhip I am.
Took me. I like Rocket. It took me a while to get into that series. I'm still not into that series, but I really do like the raccoon. I really do like Rocket. He just cracks me up.
57.
That's one of those movies. That's one of those movies. If I could have been like a writer on this, in the script, a writer on the set, I would have loved to have written for the character Rocket, because I think he had some of the best lines and the best potential for lines. Him and the big alien guy, the big strong alien guy.
Well, if they ever need a guy who writes bad jokes for movies, we'll definitely get you hooked up.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And also
50,
who lies a lot.
50, yeah, lies all the time, just constantly. 57, Blade Runner 2049. Now that's different than the original Blade Runner, I guess.
Yeah, that's like a sequel.
Philip K. Dick, which is a cool name to have, I guess.
If you need a nap, it's a great movie to watch.
Oh, so it doesn't belong on our list then, right?
I don't.
Also, it's like Lord of the Rings in that way. Is that what you're talking about?
It's just a very slow movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of dark in it.
Sequel and nowhere near as good. As I didn't even know the first one, so I wouldn't know. 56, The Social Network.
The Facebook story.
Sure. Was that good? I thought it got panned when critics panned it, right?
Yeah, I thought it. I mean, it was cool to kind of see the behind the scenes story, but yeah.
Who was in that?
Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah.
Aaron Sorkin was a screenwriter for that. He's a very good writer.
He is.
55 is Taxi Driver, which I think belongs on there, definitely. I don't know.
Sure, yeah.
55 could be a little higher than that, I think.
I mean, it's it's got one of the most heavily quoted lines out there. You know what I mean?
But having one quoted line doesn't make it a great movie, like Dirty Harry. What I'm saying though is, movie
Brokeback Mountain has a great line. I can't quit you.
Yeah. But in my opinion, like, you're not going to get a heavy quote like that unless the movie's widely accepted. You know what I mean? Because unless the movie's widely accepted, enough people aren't hearing that line in context enough for it to become something that people say a lot.
And wasn't that movie Hinckley's inspiration, Carl's best friend John Hinckley's inspiration for stalking Jodie Foster? I think so, right?
Maybe I guess I could see that being.
I think it was.
For example, RoboCop, I think when that first came out was like a dud. I think it became like a cult classic. Or am I getting that mixed up with Rocky Horror Picture Show? But like Rocky Horror Picture Show is not like a great movie in the very, very beginning. You know what I'm saying? It became a cult classic, and so people began to quote scenes in movies, like lines like "Meatloaf again," stuff like that. It became like quotable much later as it became like a cult classic. I'm just saying.
You're just talking to hear yourself talk. That's why you.
No, when I do that, I do.
Sound of your own voice. I love to
actually,
hear me talk. I just don't have to say anything. I love to hear me talk. Number 54 is Saving Private Ryan. Saving Ryan's Privates.
How is that not like top 20 at least? Like, that's way too low in my opinion. That's a great movie. That's a great movie.
I agree. It's a very good movie. You know, I'm not really the greatest judge of this because I only know like 4 movies. But there's a
Mr. Hanky in it,
big
right?
names in that, right? Is
Yeah,
that
Mr.
Yeah,
Hanky.
Tom Hanks, Matt
Yeah.
Damon, Vin Diesel's in that fucking movie.
Oh wow, I forgot about him.
Giovanni Ribisi's in that movie.
Wow.
God, there's more. I just can't think of it.
Number 53, Forrest Gump.
Oh, wow!
Another-
Back to back
another
Tom
Mr.
Hanks.
Hanky movie.
That's impressive.
Yeah, another Mr. Hanky movie.
Do you think that's a great movie? Because Dylan Brody, I always thought it was a great movie. Dylan Brody kind of changed my mind on it. He tore it to a fucking shreds. He said it was the worst movie of all time, and I was like, what?
I did not know that.
I
You
like
thought
the
it was
movie a
worst
lot,
movie of all time.
especially since I've read the book and how they adapted the adapted screenplay is fucking amazing, because going from the book of Forrest Gump to the movie of Forrest Gump, like, I don't know how they made like a wholesome family film out of that fucking
he was a dirty pervert rapist in the book, right?
Yeah, in the book, yeah, he's terrible in the book. Like
Right.
Forrest is not a very redeemable character in the book. So like they did a bang up job with that movie, in my opinion.
A friend of mine is in that movie. Matter of fact, I think you know him too, Ron. No, Frankie James.
What does he play?
A black guy.
No.
Black guy. Yeah.
That's his official, like when the credits roll by, black guy.
Bald black guy.
Bald black guy.
Yeah.
So it's not Bubba.
No, different bald black guy. I think that's bald black guy number 2 then.
I want to get
it's only
GD cast in the movie as a Rastafarian dude.
That would really piss off the Rastafarian community.
I know. That's why I want to do it so bad.
I think it would probably piss off everybody in the human race, but that's a whole
except for the people who like to collect money from me for bills and food and stuff. They'd be happy.
Well, we didn't say you were going to get paid.
Again, another job where I don't get paid.
Right. 52 is Point Break. I don't know it.
Are you kidding me?
Patrick Swayze, Keanu Reeves.
It's a good
Gary
adventure
Busey's in
movie.
that fucking
It's an
movie. It's
action
great.
movie, but it's not a great movie. It's not a top 100.
It's a bank robber movie. Keanu Reeves plays an FBI agent chasing down some bank robbers that are led by Patrick Swayze. There's some cool skydiving scenes in that movie that are really good.
If you're going to put a Patrick Swayze movie in the top 100, it has to be Roadhouse, but not this one.
Maybe Roadhouse is further up on the list.
And Dirty Dancing are still to come in this list.
I would think probably one of those, if not both.
Both of them, probably.
Maybe that it's up there higher because that's when Gary Busey was still coherent as a person.
Right. No kidding. Because if you catch him,
I think you have to go back a long way for Gary Busey to be coherent. I think probably the 90s sometime. Right?
That was the 90s. It was the
90s. All right.
Yeah, that was before the buttered sausage.
Number 51, a movie that musicians generally hate, but it's made for musicians. It's called Whiplash. You know the movie Whiplash.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, that is a good movie.
What's the guy's name? J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
He's like
the drummer guy. The
yes.
drummer movie. Okay,
right.
I've never seen it. I have not seen it.
It is. It's a good uncomfortable watch.
Right.
It is a very good uncomfortable because J.K. Simmons plays that narcissistic asshole so good, good.
Yeah, but a lot of jazz musicians, purists, panned it because I don't. It's really even Buddy Rich wasn't that much of an asshole, and that's saying a lot because Buddy Rich was an amazing asshole.
He was an amazing asshole, but how many people know how much of an asshole Buddy Rich really, really, really was?
Right.
You know, I mean, we didn't get to.
Oh, we know. We have the bus tape. We have tapes of him when he did not know he was being taped that show his at his height of assholeness. And so I think we know just how bad an asshole Buddy Rich was. I think the the character J.K. Simmons plays is over the bus tape. Have you heard the bus tapes?
I haven't heard the bus tapes. I know I saw the Buddy Rich on the Muppet Show tapes.
You gotta look up the bus tape. Jerry Seinfeld does because Jerry Seinfeld, I think, was one of the guys who helped uncover the bus tapes originally. There were rumors forever that people had been taping Buddy Rich on the bus, but basically after a concert, get on the bus and just had the band a new asshole like, you suck. How did you ever get through school? You suckers play for me. Who are you watching? All that kind of stuff. But just like really yelling at the band and all that stuff. So bus tape, listen to the bus tapes. You'll find out what an asshole Buddy.
Hello, Carl.
Good morning.
Hey,
Carl.
another
Carl
show.
Carl the movie man.
Yeah.
Carl knows more of these movies than all
They
of them.
got 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
Do we have a
Could happen.
second guess? But yeah.
Number 50. We're halfway through the list. Vertigo. Another Jimmy Stewart, Alfred Hitchcock collaboration there.
Really good movie. Yeah.
Kim Novak.
Yeah.
That belongs on the list. I think 50 is probably the right spot for that one too. 49, Spirited Away. Don't know that movie. It looks like another animated for a Western
Ghibli animation.
For a Western world raised on Disney movies, Spirited Away was bracing change for a pace. Pure, uncut
That's got to be the one about the horse.
I don't know. It doesn't say anything about a horse in here. Hayao Miyazaki's major crossover. It's like Japanese Western. Number 48, Ghostbusters.
The original?
Why? Have they remade Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did an all-female cast like a few years ago.
Oh, that's gotta suck.
And they're coming out. There's another Ghostbusters coming out as well.
Yeah.
That's gotta suck. Number 47.
Well, the old cast is in the new one. Well, except for Harold, of course.
Yeah, the new ones are technically sequels, right? With a sort of a younger cast. They're fun. They're fun. But
Some movies should just never be
ones,
remade. Some movies should just never be remade.
Yeah, and Back to the Future cannot be remade while Robert Zemeckis is alive. That was in the contract.
Wow, that's good.
But I guarantee they'll do it as soon as he dies. Like the
I
second.
mean, they haven't killed him yet.
It made too much money not to do it again, right? 47 is Do the Right Thing. Yes or no? 47, Do the Right
I
Thing.
So. I think
that's a Spike Lee movie, right?
Yeah, it is a Spike Lee movie. There was one he did that was even better than that, though. But I'm trying to think, it's School Days. But
number 46, Schindler's List. I think this is Schindler's
theater
List.
as a child.
Which hour?
When you've watched everything on Pornhub, Schindler's List.
My dad had to go up to the ticket window, because I went by myself. And so my dad had to go up to the ticket window and give permission that I could actually see the movie Schindler's List. And I went and watched that by myself in the theater. And the tape, the like film broke halfway through. So there was like 20-30 minutes of an intermission about halfway through the movie where we had to wait for them to fix the film.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
I don't think that's possible anymore.
2 days long, right?
I don't think that's even possible anymore, because they don't actually use actual film anymore, right? They use it's all digital.
When I was a kid, that was one of my favorite things, was go to the projection room of a movie theater. I loved it. It was one of my favorite things.
Number 45.
I was just going to say, did you go and complain that you need to know how this ends?
No, I mean,
I'm a massive fan of Nazis. I want to know, how are they going to win? What's happening?
All right, they put them on the trains. What happens now?
Number 45, The Big Lebowski. I think that belongs in number 4 or 5. 4 or 5 instead of 45.
That should be top 20. That should be top 20 for sure. This aggression will not stand, man.
Yeah. All of it. I mean, these men are nihilists, Donnie. Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Russians for like 3 years whilst being obsessed with that movie, so it's definitely a classic.
You talk about iconic lines. That one's got a ton of iconic
Yeah.
lines that
Yeah,
people
yeah.
use all the time.
Yeah,
Maybe I should
John,
watch it then so
John
I
Goodman
can
was
learn
fucking
some of them.
beautiful in that.
My favorite part about that is the TV edit. It edits John Goodman where he's smashing up the kid's car that's in the iron lung. This is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass. And the TV edit is this is what happens when you meet a stranger in the Alps. To go and redub.
I haven't
Number
seen it. I
44.
haven't seen it.
It's a Wonderful Life. James,
Oh.
another Jimmy Stewart, black and white.
Yeah, Jimmy Stewart's heavy on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
fuck
classic,
Uncle
I think.
Billy.
Yeah, Uncle Billy was good in that, definitely. And who was Lionel? Barrymore. Lionel Barrymore was the old man.
He often played that kind of
Yeah. 43. There Will Be Blood. Daniel Day-Lewis.
Mm.
I've
Doesn't
not
belong
seen
on the
that
list.
yet.
Wow.
I like Daniel Day-Lewis's character in that. It's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, but wasn't that the oil mogul movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about the birth of oil in California. I've only
Right.
seen it once as well, but it's some great lines in that as well. Daniel Day-Lewis, as ever, is an obsessive, weird method actor in that one.
Here you go. In 42, another black and white Jimmy Stewart movie, 12 Angry Men. Great cast in that. Jack
I
Klugman,
almost watched that the other day.
Eli Wallach. You never watched that movie?
No, I haven't.
Oh my God! One of the best, and Sidney Lumet, he wrote a book on directing based on his experience on that movie about how to be a director is all in that movie. Raymond Burr, I think, is in that movie if I'm not mistaken. There's so many. The 12 Angry Men were really good in that. All of them. And to be able to tell a movie with just 12 guys in one room, they don't change settings ever.
It's a jury movie, right? It's a movie about a jury, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Number 41, Silence of the Lambs. Definitely belongs on the list.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
41. Is that number the right number for it?
It's always hard to categorize that many movies, but it's a good film.
Yeah.
My question is like, are any of the other like Hannibal films going to be on the list? Because while I agree Silence of the Lambs needs to be on there, like to me, Hannibal was a really, really good story.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be higher than Silence of the Lambs, so I kind of hope it's not, right? It's good.
Yeah.
Manhunter was a good movie.
Robert
the
De Niro's,
original Manhunter.
Yeah.
86 or something.
Yeah.
Robert De Niro said that he was originally cast for the part of Hannibal, and it was taking him so long to decide that.
I think they did better with what's his face.
Anthony Hopkins. Yeah.
I
He
do
didn't
too.
regret
I
not
do
getting
too.
it, but that was the guy they wanted. He was like, I don't know. And by the time he made a decision, they're like,
I don't know. It's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. He helps me, man.
Yeah.
They should have
I'm sorry,
went with Jimmy Walker.
I'm sorry, I was doing Saturday Night Fever there. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought you was doing that therapist guy that Willie likes.
Oh.
The
Jordan
one who
Peterson?
gets in your throat in the morning. The one that gets in your throat. That guy.
Oh.
Jordan Peterson. Yeah, that's what I thought you was doing. I don't know.
No, Jordan. Number 4. Now, do you guys? Because you guys are all younger than me. Do you guys have tolerance for black and white movies? Can you? My wife can't watch anything in black and white. She can't.
I grew up watching old movies with my dad and stuff. I can watch a black and white movie if it's good.
But that's all y'all could get in England for the longest time, right?
Yeah, actually, England was in black and white until 1952.
Yes.
Reality was black and white.
You know what? We reality was in black and white. The other day, when Steve Lawrence passed away, there was a thing on. He had the last show in the United States that was broadcast live in black and white in 1965 and 1966.
I did not know that.
That's kind of late for black and white to be live television. I thought everything was in color by that point, but
no. I saw a video recently of like Swedish TV. They did the live switch to color TV live. They did a live TV show and then did this whole event. That was
must have freaked people out.
Yeah.
I was on mushrooms that day and I couldn't take it.
What about BET? Didn't they go from black and white to white, all white? Or that was maybe just a boardroom.
All right, we got to get rid of him again. Let's just take it out.
What does he know about black and white issues? Get him gone.
All right. We
Yeah,
put
he
him back
knows
in.
nothing about color issues.
Number 40, the reason I brought up black and white, well, number 40 is a black and white film that most people would probably put in the top 10 just because of its cinematic historical importance. Citizen Kane. Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
Oh, I guessed it.
Yeah.
I think it probably belongs in the top 10, even though number 39, Gladiator.
Nice, Russell Crowe.
Is that the porn? Is that the porn version or the?
I watch
Russell
that.
Crowe?
I watch that probably at least once a month. Gladiator.
Okay, that's mental. You should be on a watch list. That's you're gonna go and cut someone's head off with a sword. But it's a fucking great movie, and I want to watch it. Recently, they interviewed Russell Crowe because they're filming the sequel now without him, but he was on vacation where they've built the new Coliseum where it used to be, and that freaked him out. So the first movie's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. Well, well, people keep asking him about the new movie, and I watched an interview with him. He's getting upset about people asking him with the new movie, and he looked at one guy. He's like, my character died." He's like, "So people ask me about the new Gladiator. I don't know. My character is dead." Fuck.
It does look like the next guest is a no-show. His name was Shaky Jake. He's a comedian out of Corpus Christi, Texas.
With Parkinson's disease?
Yeah, that's the one who does. Yes, that's the one.
It's probably a time zone issue with him. Get a lot of that with Texas. They forget they're an hour behind or whatever.
Texas is more than an hour behind.
You've all changed the time zone because
they're 100 years behind. I know.
Yeah, this fucked me up because your guys' clocks changed and I didn't know.
Right.
Not that I'm a guest, it just came in.
We're up to number 38 on the list.
Over there, that's just an American thing.
No, it changes just at a different time. Ours will change in like 2 weeks, something like that.
And their Mother's Day is all off, by the way. You know, they had Mother's Day like last week.
I think probably technically yours is off.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right.
It occurs to me that apparently nobody watched the Reverend show on Sunday, because that was like his whole sermon was about daylight savings time and how not everybody knew. I can't believe it.
Yeah, no, people watch it.
I'm sleepy at that time on Sunday. It's
what he finds out nobody watched this show.
No, the thing is, he has to make everything about himself. It's just like, look at me. I'm starved for attention. Look at me. I got to hear my. Oh my God, it's so fucking obnoxious. Number 38 on the list: The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Now that's about GD. There you go. Especially the last part.
Jesus.
Number 37 is Seven. Morgan Freeman.
Nice. Brad Pitt. I fucking love that movie.
I've not seen it since the early 90s.
What's in the
whenever it came out, but it's great. It's great.
My wife and I watched it 2 weeks ago.
Love that movie.
See, he's got to bring up the race thing. He's got to bring up I got a wife.
Me, what?
Right. We don't really believe it. Honestly, nobody really believes he has a wife. I mean, let's get real about this.
7,
36, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
There.
Wow.
Proof.
Jim Carrey.
Have a wife.
That's
There's
Jim Carrey in a serious
woman.
Jim Carrey, Kate Winslet. I don't know.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
I didn't want.
That's a very interesting movie. Yeah.
Number 35, The Shining.
Nice. That movie.
I love it. It's one of my favorite movies.
What's the room number? Because people like there's hotels now that don't have the. What is that room number in The Shining?
Like 827 or something like that.
Yeah, and it's a part of the Kubrick's supposedly cryptic stuff about the moon landing is in that movie.
Yeah, there's a whole documentary on there used to be a cheap documentary on Netflix called Room 237, and it's all about everything that's laid in
227
throughout there, but it's fun.
All right, number 34, Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. So that's a separate. I didn't watch any of the Lord of the Rings.
It's the second one, and it's going to be in there because of the 45-minute Helm's Deep battle scene. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, this number 33. Back to black and white movies. This to me is definitely in my top 10. It's number
Lethal
33
Weapon?
on the list. Casablanca.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
We'll always have Paris. I'm a big Bogart kind of guy anyway. Number 32, The Thing.
Which one?
Was this a remake?
John Carpenter, 1980 something. That was a remake of
This
a
was
50s movie.
the Goldie Hawn's husband, Kurt. What's his face? And
Kurt Russell, yeah.
Kurt Russell.
Russell?
Yeah, that's a
And there
remake
was
of
also
a
a Vincent
50s
Price
movie.
The Thing, wasn't there? But I think that was a different thing. The creature in the thing and that thing was a different thing.
Yeah,
The Thing.
they've done a prequel to The Thing a few years ago. I can't remember what it's called though.
And if you're in the mafia, the thing could be anything. I talked to the guy about that thing.
This thing of ours.
That thing. We got to talk about that thing. Which
With the
thing?
guy.
Yeah,
It'd be a shame if
No,
something
the
would
other
have happened to that thing
yeah.
on the way to the thing.
Number 31, Interstellar. Matthew McConaughey. Is that who that is in that stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Christopher
He's
Nolan.
He's a weird dude. Number 30, Heat. Michael Mann, Carl's brother.
Oh, nice.
One of my, it may be a relative of mine or not, and it's one of my favorite movies as well.
Pacino and De
I used to watch it on my
Niro.
birthday every year, weirdly.
Yeah. 29, Apocalypse Now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Apocalypse now, apocalypse tomorrow, apocalypse forever.
When Marlon Brando was so fucking lazy and fat, he just turned up with a different color haircut and had to film him in the shadows, and then demanded all the money from the movie. Classic.
We're getting close to the top of this list, and what strikes me is we're getting a lot of sequels, but not the originals. Because the next one, 28, is Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. That's not the original one, right?
That's the third movie. What a fucking weird movie to be that high.
Yeah.
Raiders of the Lost Ark is infinitely better than that movie.
Right.
It's a good
You
movie,
tell him,
actually.
Carl. You tell him, Carl. I second everything Carl just said. Even if he says it, I think he just says it better with a different accent. But I like the way he said it. I agree with him.
All right. Number 27, Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King. That's another sequel, right?
Yeah.
Well, it was a trilogy, so that's the third movie. 2000. The second, I'd put the second one above the third one personally, but it's.
Number 26 is Die Hard. I think it belongs higher than 26, to be honest with you. I think that was
that should be like the #1 Christmas movie.
But it's difficult because there's only
movie.
25 movies and there are so many great movies.
Yeah, I know. That was my point right from the beginning when we were talking about some of these that didn't belong in 25. What a great movie. I forgot about this. Shame on me. Fight Club.
Yeah, bro.
Fight Club's a good movie.
Are you kidding me? That movie changed the face of America.
It's a good movie. I want to read the book. I haven't watched it in a long time because it fucked with my mental health for a while.
Yeah,
I haven't seen
about 20 years ago, and I've not watched it since.
Yeah, that's why I don't watch Joker.
I think Edward Norton is probably one of the most under-acknowledged or under-rated.
Norton's great.
Oh yeah, Edward Norton is fucking amazing actor. What was that movie he did with Marlon Brando about a heist? He did a heist movie with Marlon Brando,
right?
Where he played a man who was posing as like a special needs person to gain access to this like museum or whatever. Man, he was so good in that fucking movie.
The Score.
The Score, yes, that's such a good fucking movie. I think De Niro's in that too. Yeah, but Marlon Brando plays a small part in that as well.
He made a movie recently about Robert Moses, and if you're not from New York, or especially not from Long Island, you probably don't know much about Robert Moses. But there was a time when this guy, Robert Moses, really owned New York. He owned the mayor, he owned the governor, he owned everything in New York. Not owned monetarily wise, but he was the most powerful man in New York. He built all the roads, and parks are named after him and all this stuff, but he was a terrible, racist, just really evil guy. And so we
That's
have
the American way.
I know.
Yeah.
We have a Southern State Parkway here, which is a parkway that's supposed to run from Manhattan out to Eastern Long Island, and he was supposed to just take all the farms from farmers and just say, "We're taking your property," but they fought it in court. So instead of that, he would like wrap the road around their farm, so it just fucked up everything. So Southern State Parkway now is just like this big worm trail throughout Long Island, but it's a monument to just how evil that was. Anyway, 24, Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Now,
One of my favorites.
Interesting.
but
Yeah,
again, it's not Terminator. So can you put Terminator on the list
but
now ahead of that?
I think most people would say that Terminator 2 was better than Terminator.
Right.
They came back with a bigger budget, and it's still a fucking good movie, which is also rare as well for the sequels. It's one of those movies like Godfather 2 that's arguably a better movie than the first one.
Carl's looking for a fight. No, I agree with that one, but you're looking for a fight when you say that.
Well,
Godfather's almost unbeatable, and then Godfather 2 beats it. It's so
Yeah,
fucking rare.
But
Yeah.
then like technology-wise too, when that movie came out, it was so groundbreaking.
Yep.
As well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of the effects still hold up. Kind of. They use supercomputers to do that stuff, which you can now do on a laptop, on a MacBook, right? But it's absolutely phenomenal.
Number 23 is a movie that I heard Louis C.K. do a complete analysis of it the other day. And it was amazing, his recall, because he wasn't watching the movie, but he was picking apart scenes and taking every little nuance of it and explaining the meaning of it. It brought a whole new meaning to my, because I'll be honest, when I first saw it, Radio City Music Hall, the day it debuted, it bored me to tears. But I was a kid and didn't understand the nuance of it. It's 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Oh yeah.
Well, a great movie now, but as a kid when I saw it, I was like, "What the fuck?"
They were just like monkeys in a big monolith. I didn't know what it was. I saw it when I was like 7 for the first time, but then I read the sequel books, like 2039 or whatever they are, when I was a teenager, and really got into the movie after.
Yeah, and I know you are a CK fan. You should I find whatever that thing of him talking about it, because his expertise for film production and all that stuff, and his deep passion for filmmaking is very clear in his analysis of the film. It's really inspiring to listen to.
I'll dig it up. Yeah, he was on a podcast with Joe List. He had a movie podcast, and he went on that a few times before he went on anything else a couple of years ago, and it might be from there.
22, The Avengers Endgame. No?
Endgame, okay.
I don't know. I don't know about that one.
So that's like the 24th movie in Marvel's massive thing that kind of ended that whole thing. It's yeah, I mean, it's difficult.
I think that's only on there because
money.
I mean, overall they did all right, massing all those movies together to form one story. But then still the big letdown is they screwed up the Hulk. That character arc for the Hulk is trash.
Made in the in between Nerd Hulk, right?
Yeah.
Number 21, Alien.
I love Alien. We can have an Alien versus Aliens debate. I'm an Alien guy. I'm the first movie guy on this. I love them both, but the first movie for me, come on.
Number 20, The Matrix. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. I think,
Number 19, The Inception. Inception.
Oh, I fucking love Inception. That's another movie I watch about once a month.
I love Inception too.
18.
There was a sequel?
No, he meant also.
No, he knows what he meant. Just being obnoxious.
How would you know I meant that? Because I'm a liar, man.
Because
you know what? If he's gonna act like that, I'm gonna start explaining it every fucking time.
Because your jokes are so predictable, you could see them coming from a mile away. Number 18, Parasite.
Parasite.
I like that movie. Now,
I've seen it.
Heard of it.
Now 17, Aliens.
Fuck off. No, other way around. No, Aliens.
I agree.
Alien. It's a great movie, awesome. But the first one for me is.
Awesome.
I agree. I mean, that's that's not fair.
Back to the Future 2 is not on here.
I love Back to the Future 2. I've probably seen that like 80 times.
Number 16, Blade Runner.
Oh,
Yes?
the original.
Yeah, I mean, it is a classic. I like it, but it's tough. It's a tough way to put it. 16 seems high.
We're down to the last 15. Again, I have not previewed this list. I'm getting a little nervous here that my top movies are not.
Tarantino in the list again? I really hope so.
So far, he's only been represented once, right? What was
twice?
Oh,
he had
what were they?
Reservoir Dogs, and then Inglorious Bastards.
Oh, right.
Twice he's been on.
Right.
Pulp Fiction's got to be in the list. Come on.
You would think. Number 15, Jurassic Park. Oh, I'm already
nostalgic. Very nostalgic for me.
Why? You remember?
Just walk around humming the theme tune. Come on.
Oh, I was thinking you had a thing for dinosaurs or something.
I knew some dinosaurs.
No, he's got a thing for David Schwimmer.
Now, Carl already just mentioned this movie. Number 14, The Godfather Part 2. That bothers me that's all the way down to 14. To me, The Godfather trilogy should be listed as one movie as number 1 in my dopey list. But 14 is just way too low.
We'll have to see what's in the top 10.
Do you watch the third one? Do you watch the third one?
I watched the third one the day it came out. It was Christmas Day, I think, 1988.
No. Do you watch it again and again, though?
I don't watch it again and again, but I have watched it recently a couple of times.
In retrospect than you thought at the time, I think. But it's still that fucking helicopter scene, man. That makes me very sad. There's no need for that stupid fucking scene. But I like the end, and it's better than you think, but it's nowhere near the first two.
I agree.
I have no idea what y'all are talking about.
I think it's kind of important, though. It's kind of now number 13, Back to the Future. I think that absolutely belongs on the list.
I'll tell you, it's my favorite movie of all time, and I've seen it lots, and I'll be seeing it at an anniversary thing at some point next year, probably.
Definitely belongs in my top 10, and it's one I have probably watched as many times as The Godfather, without a doubt. It's like a lot of.
I'm surprised at that. I'm happy for that. I was at the 20th anniversary of the 25th anniversary.
I love time travel movies just to begin with. Anything time travel, I'm in. It could be the shittiest time travel movie, but I'm still.
Hot Tub Time Machine 3.
Something that I'm surprised by, I don't think we've seen any of the Batman movies in this list.
That's
None
correct.
of the Batman movies.
Dark Knight could be high. It depends. It depends who's put the list together and what their basis for it though is, right?
Right.
I would put the Dark Knight on the top 50.
We've had zero Batman.
Number 12, Mad Max Fury Road.
No.
Wow.
No, fuck you.
No.
It was pretty good, but
We've got some anger in the dog pound, ladies and gentlemen.
So I'm not gonna lie. I didn't see that movie. I didn't see it, so I don't know.
I didn't see it either. I don't know. We're definitely.
It wasn't bad.
Come on now.
And I wouldn't put any Mad Max shit in the top 100.
I wouldn't put it up this high though, for sure. No.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even put it in the top 100. I mean, there were to Carl's point before. There are so many good movies that the top 100 should be all like, oh yes, no doubters, no brainers, belongs in the top 100. And that one, I don't think. Right. Number 11, Star Wars. Okay, even though for me. But it belongs. It belongs.
So that's only 2 from the whole entire Star Wars franchise. Though there's only been 2 movies.
What do we have? Empire Strikes Back before, was it somewhere?
They had.
That's one too many, in my opinion. It should have been Star Wars.
But if you have Star Wars, you have to have the original Superman with Christopher Reeve.
Well, that is. I think what they should have done with this list is anything that had a sequel, they should just lump them in as like one type of
movie.
But some sequels are so bad that they would drag the original movie down.
Yeah, that's tough though. Yeah, you get the bad one that will drag them down.
That's a fair point. Number 10. We're down to the top 10. Are you ready for the top 10? We need a drum roll.
I want to make a guess. Is A Few Good Men in the top 10?
I don't know. I have not
handle the truth.
I have not previewed it yet, but
the Jerky Boys movie better be in the top 10.
Listen. No, Ford Fairlane. Ford
Silverado.
Fairlane Rock and Roll Detective better be in the top 10. That's all I know.
I guarantee you that's not on this list.
So
All right,
Silverado should be in there.
All right, well, you've been demoted.
No, it's
uh,
not that I don't like it. I'm just saying, based on this list so far, there's no
yeah,
fucking
but-
way that
Listen
movie's
to him
on.
grovel.
But even for putting that out there, you had to be demoted. Here you go.
Yeah. all right.
Oh no, that's not a drum roll. That's a comedy drum slap. Oh well. All right, number 10, Goodfellas.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it's
All
a
right.
good movie.
Yeah,
Good movie.
I might put it higher than 10, but we'll have to see what these next 9 better be
All
pretty
right.
good.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Number 9. Are we ready for number 9? Are we ready? The envelope, please. Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Okay. Indiana Jones again.
I have a feeling the next one doesn't belong. I haven't seen it. Number 8. Are we ready in the chat room? Does anybody have a guess in the chat room what number 8 might be?
Evelyn, go and watch
Silverado.
Goodfellas right now. You fucking idiot. What do you mean you haven't seen it? Sorry,
Haven't
carry
seen
on.
Goodfellas? Come
You're
on.
an idiot.
I haven't seen it.
What?
Oh my God. Number 8. Avengers Infinity War.
Fuck.
I know. That's what I thought.
Again, I like the movie, actually. It's a pretty cool movie, but you're not putting that above Goodfellas and Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Right.
Yeah. Number 7, Quentin Tarantino. You got to know this one.
Pulp Fiction.
Obviously.
Okay.
Number 6, Jaws.
Oh, all right.
Now that movie,
All right.
it's
I could have seen that lower, like more
It
like
changed.
20-ish.
Yeah.
changed the way a lot of people thought. So I can see it being up there for that.
One of
But-
the first
But
blockbusters,
the
probably,
effects,
right?
the effects. You know,
You got to watch Richard Jenny on Johnny Carson Tonight Show talking about Jaws 3. He does a 5-minute bit on Jaws 3. It was fucking one of the funniest comedy bits I've ever seen. Really, really good. Look that up on YouTube.
And hey, don't forget the unauthorized sequel, One Crazy Summer of Jaws.
We've had a lot of shark attacks here. And great whites showing up here, which is it's based on a Long Island type of thing. They say it's in Massachusetts, but Amity is really Amityville, where Gilgo Beach is, by the way. The Gilgo murders and all that stuff. But we've had lots of great great white sharks on Long Island in the last couple of summers. So number 5, we are at number 5. Anybody want to take a guess before I reveal the big number 5 best movie of all? No. By the way, Kevin Costner's got some new movie coming out. It's in 2 segments. Forget what it's called. But
is it like Horizon? I saw you post a thing on Twitter.
It's like Dances with Wolves. It's like Yellowstone. It's like Silverado. It's like Open Range. It's like all of those movies combined into one. But nobody does that kind of movie better than Kevin Costner. Modern westerns.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say John Wick. We have not had a John Wick movie anywhere on this list.
Not yet.
John Wick's got to be in the top 5.
Not number 5. Number 5. I think this one belongs there. Absolutely, this one I have seen as often as The Godfather and Back to the Future. Because anytime it's on television, if I'm in the room, I'm going to watch it. Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, okay.
Oh man, of course. I am Andy Dufresne. What are you talking about?
That's probably right up there.
Right. Number 4 has been mentioned already in the conversation here. Are we getting any Sharknado? I've had one of the stars of Sharknado on the program.
I love Sharknado. I don't know which one it was, whether it is 1 or 7 or 9. It's phenomenal.
Can you guess who from Sharknado I've had on the program?
Oh yeah, I love those shitty movies that they're deliberately making shitty. There's so many on that Amazon Prime. There's Larmageddon, Velocipasta about a priest who turns into a dinosaur. It's phenomenal.
Wow.
What?
Velocipasta. Go and watch it.
Do we have any guesses about who I've had on the program from Sharknado?
Shark number 7.
Well, it wasn't Tara Reid.
Ian Zerling.
Nope. Robbie Rist, who was Cousin Oliver on the Brady Bunch. He was in Sharknado. He was in
with the glasses. The kid with the glasses.
Yeah. He was a bus driver in Sharknado. School bus driver or something.
Tough times.
Yeah. But he was in a lot. He was in a lot. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He
The
was in that.
1990 version.
What I don't. I guess I don't know. Was there a remake?
They made a few since with Michael Bay and stuff, but the 1990 one's a bit of a classic for me as well.
He's been in a lot of big things for a guy you don't really know. That's all I'll say about it.
There's a lot of those guys.
Number 4 has been mentioned, and it was mentioned as it has to be. We have to have one of these in the list here. It is a Batman film.
Dark Knight. The Dark Knight.
Batman. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. It's
Number
a good.
3.
It's a good movie, regardless of it being a.
It really is. Yeah.
Now, who was it? It's Christopher Nolan, right?
Christopher Nolan, Christian Bale, Heath Ledger, Michael fucking Caine.
Yeah, Heath Ledger. Number 3 is Injustice, the Total Injustice. I don't even feel like following through on this list anymore because this should be number 1. It's The Godfather.
This is number 3.
Number 3. Come on, somebody.
I've never liked that movie. I've always thought The Godfather. I've never watched it.
Ron, you're gonna get disinvited to the show.
Yeah, Ron's been demoted.
Carl, you've been upgraded.
Ron's been demoted.
It's a boring movie.
You cannot talk bad about The Godfather on this show.
I wish there was a way I could make his window even smaller after that. Listen, that's blasphemy. That's just total blasphemy. Don't even say that.
I thought it was boring.
You can think it, just don't say it.
Nah. I find it offensive that people think I have to like that movie.
Oh, you get whacked for even saying that.
I agree with that. There should be no non-consensual watching. Right. I like it, but I understand that it is definitely slow. I do really like the second one. I like the first one because it's a bit of a classic. But yeah.
All right, we're down to the number two movie.
Was never on the list. I'm disappointed by that.
Which one?
A Clockwork Orange, Stanley Kubrick.
Wow.
Well, is it in the top 2? That's it. It's in my top 25, I'd say.
Yeah.
Is Casino in the top 2? Probably not. I wouldn't.
No, we're down to the last 2. We're down to the last 2. Godfather was number 3. Last 2, and I don't like either one of these as picks. And you know what?
I'm concerned.
I'm going to talk about movies that aren't in this list now. The Unforgiven by Clint Eastwood.
Unforgiven's a classic.
Oh man, are you kidding me?
That's got to me. Ford Fairlane Rock and Roll Detective is not on the list, which really it bums me out.
I have Predator in the top 40 probably for me.
Not in the last 2. The last 2 are I would say, what do we call it? Franchise movies.
Oh no!
If it's Marvel, if the top 2 are Marvel movies,
top 2 Star Wars number 2, Empire Strikes Back. Yeah,
it's the better. It's the best movie of the first trilogy for me. It's tough for me to say number 2 overall, but I like it. I can understand why it's there.
And it's a big reveal, you know.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
If this is the fucking
what's number 1 then?
Iron Man 3 or Spider-Man.
Probably. You know what? Iron Man is not a bad guess. Iron Man is not a bad guess.
It won't be Iron Man. It might be based on like takings or something. So it could be Avengers, like the first Avengers, or.
I'm trying to do a drum roll for number 1. The number 1 movie of all time. First, I got to let people take a guess. If they're in the chat room, you want to take a guess at the number 1 movie of all time according to the shitty list.
Heavy Metal.
It's definitely not Bloodsport.
It's not Fort Fairlane Rock and Roll Detective. And if you were expecting that,
is it A Few Good Men? Is it A Few Good Men?
Not A Few Good Men is not even in the list.
How about The Greasy Strangler?
Okay, Grease.
No, you know what's not. I think there's 2 Coen Brothers movies in this list. right? Oh Brother, Where Art Thou's not in the list. We had, I think we
Big
had
Lebowski.
That's in the
No
list.
Country for Old Men and The Big Lebowski, but they both. There should be more Coen brothers.
The Coen brothers should have 20 of the top 100 probably anyway, right? They got some pretty good movies.
Airplane.
Yeah. The number one movie of all time, according to the shittiest list on the internet, is The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah,
Okay, let me tell you.
I would have
I'm
had
gonna-
that. I would have had that in the top whatever, but it wouldn't have been the best movie of all time.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people that don't like that sort of movie as well.
Right.
Right. Because you're alienating so many people by making that your number one movie. Because I'm gonna tell you something about Lord of the Rings. When I first watched that movie when we rented it back in 2003, we put it in and it put me into a 2-hour slumber. I woke up and was so mad about the movie that put me into this 2-hour nap still being on that I didn't watch Lord of the Rings for probably close to 15 years. I didn't watch any other movie. I wouldn't watch any of the Hobbit shit until after I got out of prison and I had read all the books already.
You had to go to prison. So you had to take time before you could watch it.
Yeah, I fucking went to prison before I was like, I'm fucking.
I liked it because I liked the books as a kid. So I was a bit of a I like the books and I know the story. And if you think the first movie's boring, try reading the first book because there's 150 chapters about how brown the leaves are and listening to every song that's sung in the fucking forest. But I still like it.
Were there any disaster movies listed in the top 100? I don't remember because I'm thinking like Towering Inferno.
Really?
Towering Inferno and Poseidon Adventure were kind of like, even if they weren't like the
cool classics for me.
Yeah.
I think there's 100 movies better than that. It's tough.
One like obvious thing that they forgot were comedies. There's no comedies in the list at all. I mean, Ghostbusters, I guess, is a comedy, but
yeah, I'd kind of count Ghostbusters as a half a comedy. It's pretty funny.
Brokeback Mountain. I thought that was funny.
That is funny.
I mean, I did laugh a lot during that movie.
I'm just looking at the IMDb top 250 movies, and they are mostly in agreement with the list we just read in a lot of ways, like not necessarily. But here's some they left off: Dune, Part 2.
It's just come out.
They should have left off all the Dune.
That's literally just come out this week or last week or something.
All these so far, I'm just looking for ones that they missed. City of God was not. I don't know that one. Life is Beautiful.
It's a good movie, but it's not top 100.
The Green Mile, I think, should have been on the list.
Yeah, The Green Mile.
I would have expected that to be in the list just because it's one of those movies, right? If you're gonna have Forrest Gump and you're gonna have Shawshank Redemption, you should probably put The Green Mile on there.
Right. The Pianist.
Movies, by the way.
The Pianist is on there on the IMDb list.
Great ass, or is that another one? That's not Al Pacino.
Yeah. Psycho is on the IMDb list.
That was
again, there's probably
The Lion King. Yeah. The Departed. I think that probably deserves some recognition.
Cool movie, but probably not in the top 100 just because there's so many good movies. Maybe 150.
American History X.
Good movie.
That's
yeah.
a good one. That's another
Baby
Edward Norton
Jane.
one.
Yeah.
The Untouchables. That I don't know. That was very good.
It's a cool movie, but it's probably in the top 1,000 or something.
Once Upon a Time in the West. You guys not a fan of that one? I know people who think Wall Street and Wolf of Wall Street. Though, yeah. You know, there are so many good movies that it's hard to. It's Sunset Boulevard. The Shining. What's The Shining in
The Shining
list?
was on there.
The Shining was on that list.
I
that
forgot
was in like
about
the 20s or something.
The Great Dictator, which Charlie Chaplin did Hitler.
Mm-hmm.
Probably deserves some,
Well, and
recognition.
Charlie Chaplin's influence drove across Europe and made Schindler's List happen. So
yeah,
Hitler had the stash because he was a fan of Charlie Chaplin, right?
Right. The Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb.
It's another cool movie, but where's the room? Where does it fit?
American Beauty Does that even belong on the list?
Oh,
Kevin
wow.
Pretty good
Spacey.
movie.
It's a good
Yeah.
movie.
It's a
I
good
mean,
movie.
Kevin
especially for
Spacey's a
at the
pretty
time,
fucking cool
that was a
actor.
groundbreaking movie at the time. Like nobody was talking about that shit back then.
We
There-
have that saved in
didn't
our
it-
DVR still. My wife
Didn't it
has
win
it
Best
saved.
Picture?
I think it may
I
have
think
done.
so.
I think it
Yeah.
did.
There is a great Kevin Spacey movie called Swimming with Sharks. That is a very good movie.
You should
And
play
he-
that for Victoria
I'm gonna make a
Tornstein,
note.
whatever her Tornstein, whatever. She was swimming with sharks, but the shark bit her and spit her out. Like, ew, what the hell was that? Sharks want comedians that taste good, not comedians with good taste.
You're saying she has good taste.
Yeah,
Why?
yeah.
Why does that girl not like you? Were you guys talking about her earlier before I came on? Or
No,
something?
no. She's part of the Barry Katz Blueprint for Success thing, and she was one of the first guests I had on 5 years ago, and me and her don't get along. But so
She's the
I
one that
saw
just
her.
told you to call her. Will.
Oh, she told you to call
Yeah,
her?
she did tell me to call her. She gave me her number. Yeah,
New York.
yeah.
Oh, when you're in New York, so you can pay $5 to go do her Broadway comedy club show. You have to pay
Yeah, I
$5
think
for
so.
5 minutes of stage time. Yeah, and
Well,
bring 5 people.
I mean,
that
that's
seems to
not-
be about
that's not
75%
terrible.
of New York's comedy scene is you've got to pay us.
Right, yeah. Based on the, because I looked at like what was available for me to do for shows and stuff like that, and I mean, honestly, that's probably one of the better deals out there. And if they have more time or whatever, like depending on how many people you might get more than 5 minutes or whatever. So
Yeah,
I mean,
but consider that it's weekdays at dinner time, like 5 o'clock in the evening when she's doing this.